On February 18, 2025, President Donald J. Trump made a bold move, signing an executive order aimed at making in vitro fertilization, or IVF, more affordable and accessible for millions of Americans. This groundbreaking order marks a significant shift in reproductive healthcare policy, addressing a long-standing concern for countless couples and individuals struggling with infertility. The executive order, announced by White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, directs the President's Assistant for Domestic Policy to develop concrete policy recommendations within the next 90 days. These recommendations will focus on alleviating both out-of-pocket expenses and health plan costs associated with IVF treatment. This move has been lauded by many as a significant step towards fulfilling Trump's campaign promise of making IVF free for all Americans. By tackling the financial barriers associated with IVF, the Trump administration is aiming to level the playing field and provide equal opportunities for all families hoping to conceive. For years, the prohibitive cost of IVF has forced many aspiring parents to abandon their dreams of having biological children. The average cost of a single IVF cycle can range from $12,000 to $25,000, with many couples requiring multiple cycles to achieve a successful pregnancy. This financial burden often leads to difficult choices, forcing families to deplete their savings, take on substantial debt, or even forego treatment altogether. The emotional toll of infertility is compounded by the financial strain, creating a cycle of stress and despair for countless individuals and couples. The high costs are associated with various factors, including expensive medications, complex procedures, and the need for specialized medical expertise. Insurance coverage for IVF remains patchy and varies significantly from state to state, leaving many families without adequate financial protection. This lack of comprehensive coverage exacerbates the financial burden and underscores the need for policy interventions to address this critical healthcare gap. President Trump's executive order signals a clear intention to tackle the financial barriers associated with IVF and make it more accessible to a wider range of Americans. The order specifically tasks the President's Assistant for Domestic Policy with developing recommendations to ease statutory and regulatory burdens that contribute to the high costs. While the specific details of these recommendations are yet to be unveiled, they are expected to focus on several key areas. These may include exploring options for expanding insurance coverage for IVF, providing tax incentives for individuals and couples undergoing treatment, and promoting transparency in IVF pricing. Additionally, the administration may consider initiatives to lower the cost of fertility medications, encourage competition among IVF providers, and support research and development of more affordable treatment options. By addressing these multifaceted challenges, the Trump administration aims to make the dream of parenthood a reality for more Americans. Section 4. Political ramifications and reactions: a divided landscape. President Trump's executive order on IVF has ignited a firestorm of reactions, exposing the deep political divisions surrounding reproductive health care in the United States. While the move has been welcomed by many, particularly those who have struggled with infertility, it has also drawn criticism from those who oppose IVF on ethical or religious grounds. Samantha Bush, wife of NASCAR driver Kyle Busch and a vocal advocate for infertility awareness, expressed her gratitude for the executive order, highlighting the financial and emotional struggles families face in their quest to have children. Her organization, the Bundle of Joy Fund, has provided millions of dollars in grants to help couples afford IVF, underscoring the need for greater financial assistance. However, not everyone shares this enthusiasm. Senator Patty Murray criticized the executive order as a PR stunt, pointing to the Republican Party's history of blocking legislation aimed at expanding access to reproductive health care. Similarly, Senator Tammy Duckworth urged the president to support her Right to IVF bill, which has faced resistance from Republican lawmakers. Section 5. Ethical concerns and future implications: navigating uncharted territory. While the debate over IVF affordability rages on, it is essential to acknowledge the ethical and religious considerations surrounding this complex issue. The Catholic Church, for instance, remains staunchly opposed to IVF, citing its belief in the sanctity of life from conception. Some conservative groups also harbor concerns about the potential for IVF to lead to the destruction of embryos, which they view as human life. The 2024 Alabama Supreme Court ruling, which declared frozen embryos to be children, brought these ethical dilemmas into sharp focus, highlighting the legal and moral complexities surrounding IVF. This landmark ruling sparked widespread debate and prompted legislative responses in several states, further fueling the ongoing national conversation about reproductive rights. As the Trump administration moves forward with its policy recommendations, it will need to navigate these sensitive ethical and religious concerns while balancing the needs of individuals and families struggling with infertility. The outcome of this debate will have far-reaching implications for reproductive healthcare policy in the United States, shaping the landscape for generations to come.